harvesting this garden. What that means is that the garden is coming to the end of the season, and so I'm picking all the produce that is still left on the vines before clearing the ground and letting it rest for next spring when I plant more tomatoes and more vegetables or herbs. Long ago, God put us in charge of all the environment to care for the earth that He created. Let me read to you from the Bible at the end of Genesis 1 what God puts us in charge of and why He put certain things on the earth. Listen carefully now. God blessed Adam and Eve and said to them, "Have children and multiply, fill the earth and master it. Take charge of the fish of the sea and the birds in the sky and everything crawling on the ground." Then God said, "I now give to you all the plants on the earth that yield seeds and all the trees whose fruit produces its seeds within it. These will be your food." God made us stewards of all creation. We're going to talk a little bit later about what it means to be a steward of all creation and a steward in general. Right now, I just want to talk a little bit about farming. Long ago, it was so important for people to farm their land, to have huge gardens, because that's how they were able to eat during the winter. Well, actually, eat all year. One of the first stories of the Bible after Adam and Eve leave the Garden of Eden is about their two sons. Let me read you just the beginning of it. You can follow along if you want. It's at the very beginning of chapter 4, the book of Genesis. The man Adam knew his wife Eve intimately. She became pregnant and gave birth to Cain and said, "I have given birth to a man with the Lord's help." She gave birth a second time to Cain's brother Abel. Abel cared for the flocks and Cain farmed the fertile land. So the first two sons of Adam and Eve were farmers. One of animals and one of produce, like this garden. What are your favorite things to grow? We don't grow that many things right now because usually a lot of families go to the supermarket, right? ShopRite, and that's where you get your produce, that's where you get your fruit, that's where you get all your food. But sometimes we do have a garden because we like to garden, or maybe because we love the way fresh produce tastes, to be able to go out back and just pick them. A couple of our families have chickens in their backyard, so they can go out back and get fresh eggs every morning. Can you imagine how good that must be? What is your favorite vegetable that you either grow or that you get when you go food shopping with your parents? Yes, tomatoes are good. That's what I have here. Cucumbers. Oh, string beans. Wow, they are all good choices and very healthy things to eat, right? Apples. You know, now it's the season to pick apples at orchard. An orchard is another type of farming. It's where they farm fruit. Some of the farms in our area might have pears now to pick. They'll have apples. It's a great time to go apple picking. There are also, not too far from here, flower farms. There's one in Monroe. I'm going to share a picture with you of a tulip farm in Monroe. In the spring they grow tulips, and in the summer they have sunflowers there for you to go and enjoy their colors and how beautiful they are. Here's a picture. Let's look at it. Wasn't that good to see Miss Nancy? We haven't seen Miss Nancy since she took us on an Easter egg hunt in April. That was a picture of her when it was tulip season at that tulip farm I told you about in Monroe. So I told you we were going to talk about what it meant to be a good steward. A steward is someone that takes care of a property or something, that watches out for it and makes sure that all things are good in or around or with what they're caring for. For to be a good steward of God's creation of earth, we might think of ways that we can take care of the environment. Do you have some ideas? Yes, we cannot waste water. So that means in between brushing our teeth, we can turn off the faucet. Or it might mean we can, when we're outside playing, that we turn off the water when we are done playing. We don't just leave it running. Yes, another way we can be good stewards is not to litter. That's really important. Also, not to throw plastic in the garbage, but remember to recycle it. They're all good ways to be good stewards of the environment. It's important for us also to be good stewards of the church, to care for the church building. I'm going to share some pictures with you and then tell you about a special activity we are going to do at the church to social distance, to be together, but to be good stewards of First Presbyterian Church of Hightstown. Something we can all do to make a difference and to prepare the ground for planting next spring. Listen up to what is coming next. At the church, we can be good stewards by taking care of the flower beds around the church building. As you can see in these pictures, the flowers are gone and there are weeds growing now. Next week, there will be an opportunity for us to gather, social distance, work together at the church to clean these plots up, to prepare the ground for winter. Until then, remember to not litter, turn off the water when you're not using it, and recycle. Have a good week, everyone.